Hey, Joey Star here for another episode of Star Quality Kitchen. Today I'll be reviewing Mike's Hot Oil. Mike's Hot Oil was created for my favorite YouTube creator and favorite foodie, Mike Chen. Following his vlog, you can see that every phase of its creation and production required his approval. So you know it's legit. Also, since its official release, he's used it many times in his food adventures, and you can clearly see that he's very proud of it. I shit you not, he actually used this hot sauce to win a ice cream sundae battle. You can't make this up. Although it's been out for a while and reviewed by a few other channels, I'm still going to review it because A, I've been dying to try it for myself. B, us YouTube creators, we all have our own style. C, it's another step towards my big spicy food revival. More on that in another video. And D, meeting and collaborating with Mike Chen would satisfy two items on my bucket list. So knowing his sauces just seems logical. So let's go ahead and unbox this. So here it is. Didn't open the parcel yet. See right here it says this side up fragile. Sounds Italian. So I ordered this online because I order everything online because I'm a freaking hermit. Last time I checked, you can still order this online too. The reason why I say that is because, like other items that Mike sells online, it's subject to whether or not it's in stock. And it's not even because they do a poor job of keeping things in stock. It's because demand is very high. Mike's very popular on the internet, very popular on YouTube in particular. If you haven't heard of him already and this is your first time hearing of him, I want you to still watch my videos, but definitely check out his videos because he's great. And of course, like everything else that I'm going to speak about today, including where to buy this, I'm going to leave links down below in the description. So let's open it up. First off, the priority mail slip. It says it's from Mike Chen, Mike's Sauce, from Great Neck, New York. Being in New York, I just love that. Open the box here. I'm just excited about this because to me, Mike Chen's a big deal. I'm such a fan. I know I'm gushing on this video. I admit it, I'm a fanboy, whatever. I'm ready to try this. All right. Nicely packaged, right? Nice bubble wrap. Everybody loves bubble wrap, right? Unless you're like some kind of belly-aching sociopath. Unless you're one of those guys, you love to do this. Yes. Oh, that is so good. Even I didn't know that I'd be popping bubble wrap in this video. All right, let's see what we got here. Mike's Hot Oils. It includes Mike's Hot Oil, the main product, Mike's Spicy Black Bean Sauce, and Mike's Crispy Garlic Chili. On the very top of the box, there's a world map, and it has a bunch of lines going across, I guess kind of showing distribution, and it shows some major cities, including Seattle, which Mike used to live in Seattle, I used to live in Seattle, New York City, and some other neat places, going out as far as Africa, Europe, Asia, obviously. Kind of looks like this. The back of the box says, it's got a quote, a little character picture of Mike, and it says, seriously, you can put this stuff on any food and it will make it better. Yes, even ice cream. You see, I told you that he used that on ice cream. He actually won an ice cream sundae battle. I watched it in a video on YouTube. I'll put a link to that episode down below too so you can check it out. It's unbelievable. Then on this side, there's a little symbol to let me know that these sauces are indeed vegan and made in the USA. And it says here, things hot oil will make better. 1, rice. 2, soups. 3, noodles. 4, dumplings. 5, your life. I like that. And what's cool about these 5 things mentioned here is that at least 3 of them I'll be testing on in this video. All right, Mike, thanks. And we're gonna put it to the test. So now that I'm done gushing over the box, I think this is great. I'm so excited about this. You have no idea. You have Mike's Hot Oil, Spicy Black Bean Sauce. That one's pretty good. This is pretty neat. And his Crispy Garlic Chili. I'm really looking forward to this one too. I think hot oil courses through Mike's veins. If it's possible for anybody to have hot oil coursing through their veins, Mike does, without a doubt. And if he doesn't, then nobody does. These are glass jars, of course, because glass is better to preserve the purity and the awesomeness that is Mike's Hot Oil. So now that we have the oils, it's time to go to our food setup at the kitchen table. Now it's time to eat. I just happened to pick up some nice tasty dishes from China City in Monticello, one of my favorite Chinese restaurants in the area. Let's see what I have for testing out Mike's oils. Got some steamed dumplings. I picked up a small serving of wonton egg drop soup. What I order as my main, I thought I was ordering roast pork fried rice, and I did get roast pork, as you can see here, but if I leaf through it a little bit, there's no fried rice in here. It's almost as if I ordered roast pork, I would say with vegetables, because there only seems to be like onions and peppers and just some kind of soy sauce. It looks like a little bit of Chinese cabbage, which is good. I don't get me wrong, this is good, and I just taste a little bit of broth. It's delicious, but I was hoping to get the fried rice in there too, but I'll make do. And of course, when you order that, you get the old traditional rice. Let us begin, shall we? I want to start with the crispy garlic chili oil. First opening. Ready? You guys ever see Predator before? First thing, right off, there's the cap. Got a nice reddish, amberish color to it. I guess the aroma's probably not that strong because even at this distance, I'm not smelling yet. Let's see. Oh, that smells good. Definitely smell the garlic. Definitely smell a little bit of the chilies. It's a nice aroma. I'm looking forward to this. Quick comment, probably won't be able to see it on the camera here, but you can see that the oil sits atop of the chilies here. Because it's real, because it's fresh stuff, it's not filled with preservatives and stuff like that. You may need to mix it up a little bit just to kind of bring up some of those chilies in there. Oh yeah, it's nice. It has a nice looking texture to it. It really does smell good. I'm not gonna go crazy here. Let's just take a nice spoonful, put it onto my bowl here, and maybe grab a little bit of just the juice. Juicy awesomeness. This is actually my first official pair of chopsticks. I've used chopsticks in the past, but it's always been chopsticks that were complimentary at the restaurants. You use them and you toss them out. These I actually bought in the mall, Middletown. Let's grab a dumpling. Not saying I'm great with these, but I'm not bad. I'm certainly not Mike Chen on this. He is a chopstick king. Let's try it out. Okay. Kind of passive flavor to begin with, but I feel a little buildup of the heat. That's pretty nice. I gotta tell you, in my past experience, particularly when I was first starting to explore spicier foods, I really appreciated those that you didn't get hit with the heat right away. Like you take your bite, you chewed, and then it started to build up. They tend to give you a more legitimate heat, and they tend to be more flavorful too. Get a little more in here. I want to get a bite with some actual chilies in there. Okay. It's pretty good. A little more heat than I'm used to from my crispy chilies condiment. That's not a bad thing. It's not over the top though. It's enough to let you know that it's there. It's like, hey guys, this is spicy. But what it needs is a little bit of soy sauce in there. Unfortunately, I forgot to pick up some sesame oil, so I can't make a true mix, but there's been plenty of times where I was left with nothing but hot oil for crispy chilies and soy sauce, and it was just fine. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The soy sauce not only helps bring out the flavor in the crispy garlic chili, it almost seems like it kind of amped up the heat a little bit too. Like it activated it, which is awesome because there's no heat in the actual soy sauce. But it was like there's this little button saying, hey, press here if you want more heat. And the soy sauce was the key to pressing that button. So now I'm just gonna kind of smush some of this in here. Yeah, that was good. Nice. Thanks, Mike. I like that. Try this with some soup. Soup-a-doop. For those of you a little put off by the fact that this metalhead is actually referencing 90s salt and pepper rap, get over yourself. 90s rap is awesome. Have a little bit of my not as warm egg drop wonton soup, but it's okay. I'm gonna add some soy sauce to the soup first because this is the way I would normally eat it anyway. Let's see what that tastes like. Okay, that's my baseline. Now we're gonna take some of this crispy garlic chili sauce. A spoonful again. Drop it in here. Mix it up into the broth, and I'm gonna get some onto the wonton as well. There's a nice color to it. Looks cool. Kind of looks like a kind of a jazzy hot and sour soup. I don't know what it's like. All right, let's see what it tastes like here. That is delicious. That is good. Okay. All right, definitely liking the crispy garlic chili sauce more with the soup than with the dumpling. And let's see what it's like with the wonton. I have an idea about the wonton now. First, I'll take some right out of the soup and just bite in. As expected, while I do taste some of it there, most of the sauce kind of made its way back into the broth, so I'm not really getting the full crispy garlic chili experience on the wonton itself. So I'm going to treat the wonton like it's another dumpling, which technically it is, and I'm going to dip that right into my little concoction here of crispy garlic chili sauce with a touch of soy sauce. And that is also quite delicious. Dare I say, better than the dumpling is with that sauce. I'm not saying wontons are better than dumplings. I'm just saying with that sauce, it definitely works better with the wonton and the egg drop soup than it does a steamed dumpling. Now let's just try the broth. Very tasty. Just enough kick so you know it's there. You don't have to be a spicy food daredevil to enjoy that. Okay, it's not that spicy. It's spicy, but it's not that spicy. So far, so good. Now, since I don't have my roast pork fried rice, we're gonna have to improvise a little bit. I'm gonna take some white rice. You know, maybe it's not such a bad thing. This gives me a special opportunity to try something here. Thinking about the verbiage on Mike's box there. Let's try a little bit with just the rice. I'm gonna drop a little bit of the white rice, plain as it is, directly into the crispy garlic chili sauce. Kind of mix that in here a little bit. Rice gets a nice reddish, orangish coloring. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty good. Rice tends to pick up the flavors of whatever you're putting in it. This is no different. It's good, it's enjoyable. Definitely enjoyable. Not as good as it is in the wonton egg drop soup, but maybe a hint better than it is with the dumpling. Now I'm gonna need a little more rice. And just so you know, now that I've taken some with the rice there, and it's not being diluted by any kind of broth, I can feel the heat building up a bit more. Again, not a bad thing, not over the top, but it's there, it's definitely there. Let's add some of this roast pork with the soy sauce stuff in here. And a little more of the juice. I like when the juice of your savory foods gets soaked up by rice. One of my all-time favorite things in any kind of cuisine. Mix that up a little bit. If it looks good, let's just kind of add it in there. Oh yeah, this is cool. This is kind of like watching one of Mike's videos now. The way I'm drizzling this on there. So he would just kind of dump it on there with me. Because when it comes to heat, Mike's a bit of a maniac, and I mean that in the most complimentary fashion. I envy his heat palate. Like, I can eat some spicy stuff, but I've seen him eat some stuff that I know would probably make me tear up and probably stop eating, and he's very nonchalant about it, like, oh, okay, that's kind of hot. Very nonchalant, like it's barely phasing him. He's like, yeah, okay, whatever. I have my morning eggs spicier than this. That's Mike for you. All right, let's see how this came out here. Looks good. Smells great. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I like it. I couldn't speak for a minute because it was so good. I forgot that I was filming. I like it. I definitely like it. It might be good to try some of those noodles in this as well. A little bit here. Don't need that much. Just noodles. There you go. Nice piece of some decent sauce on there. Chilies. Quite honestly, these noodles probably aren't a great test because it's not soaking anything in. So when I bite into it, I'm getting the sauce directly, followed by the noodle. But it was still good, which tells you that the sauce on its own is pretty good. This was the sauce I had the least amount of expectations for, which is why I started with it. Now we're gonna move on to the spicy black bean sauce. Oh, that's a nice texture. It has the kind of texture I expect from a black bean sauce. Unlike the crispy garlic chili, from this distance I can smell it quite well. It's not a bad aroma. It smells like pretty good black bean sauce. I never had spicy black bean sauce before, which might sound weird to some of you. It smells good though. Now, before we start, I have some matcha green tea to help clear the palate a bit. I'm going to prep a bowl here. Take a decent spoon of this black bean sauce. Now the consistency of this, you can see here, very different from the crispy garlic chili and very likely different than the hot oil. So this is actually, I mean, you can hold it upside down with your spoon and it's not going to fall off too easily. Let's try just a little taste of it as is on nothing else. A little bit on tip here. I have to admit, based on the way it looked and the aroma it was giving off, I wasn't expecting it to taste this good. It's a stronger flavor. There's definitely, seems like it tastes some garlic. Is there garlic in that? It tastes like there's garlic in there, like a strong amount of garlic. Let's see. They really printed the ingredients well. Yeah, there is garlic in there. Okay. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Or it's not that I'm not crazy, but this isn't the argument that proves it. So, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm taking a few little samplings. If I took a whole spoon, it'd be too much. But these little bits at a time, pretty good. But it wasn't made to be eaten by the spoon. It's made to be eaten as a sauce. So definitely don't want to add soy sauce to this. You kind of want this one as is. Let's grab a dumpling. Okay. Just kind of get a bit on there. Okay, that might be a little too generous in the mouth, but. Again, tastes better than you expect opening the jar. Definitely. Pretty good with the dumpling. I would say that this goes with the dumpling better than the crispy garlic chili sauce. Definitely a better pairing with the steamed dumpling. That's good. Not my favorite sauce for having dumplings with, but pretty good. If this was the only thing available, I'd be more than happy with it. I'm not gonna try this with the wonton egg drop soup because based on what I'm experiencing at the moment, I don't see this mixing well with that. Now, somebody may or may not comment below and say, oh yeah, I have it with soup all the time, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it is having with soups. I don't have a lot of experience with black bean sauce. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time I've tried black bean sauce, it was already incorporated as part of a dish that I had ordered to be like chicken with black bean sauce. Never spicy, never as savory as this is actually, now that I'm thinking about it. This is very savory. With just a hint, there's a hint of a sweetness in there, but just enough that where you almost have to pay attention to catch the sweetness in there. And again, not a bad thing at all. I like it. I'm glad I've tried this. So I'm going to skip having the soup with it, but I do want to try it with the rice and roast pork stuff. Just a little bit of this, just a touch, just enough to taste. Have that with some of this white rice. It goes well with the rice, definitely. I would say the only thing is that if you have it with the plain rice, it's a little bit overbearing for the white rice because the rice doesn't really have much flavor to contrast the sauce. I can really tell you without even trying it that once I add the roast pork stuff to the rice, mix in a little bit more of the sauce, it's gonna be pretty good. Take some of my roast pork, get some of that juice in there. Oh yeah, get that juice in there, baby. Get that juice in there. Let's add some of this tasty, spicy black bean sauce to it. Mix it up decently. Enough so that I know wherever I'm going to take a portion, it's going to include the sauce. There we go. That's a nice bite. It helps to have food that you already think is good, sans sauces. That being said, this pairs pretty well with the roast pork. Definitely. This savory flavor of the roast pork, the juice that comes with it, combined with the rice soaking up that juice, the flavor is kind of aggressive with the sauce. You really want to just kind of add a bit to your tasting. If you're someone who loves black bean sauce, you probably want to dump a bunch in there, but I don't love black bean sauce. I like it, but I don't require as much to be able to enjoy the flavor. And it is good. Before I forget, yet again, let's try crispy chow mein noodles. Let's try a couple dipped into the spicy black bean sauce. A little bit in there. See? Look at that. It's like, it looks like a little kid came across the old can of oil, stuck his fingers in there. That's what this looks like. It's not bad with the noodles. No, not at all. Again, the flavor is definitely more aggressive, partially because it's a paste. So, as far as I'm concerned, small amounts. A little goes a long way. A little dab will do ya. That's pretty good. So far, I like the crispy garlic chili better than the black bean sauce, but I like them both. Definitely like them both. Now for the main attraction, Mike's hot oil. Oh yeah. Before we start, a little palate cleanse. That's good tea. Open this up. A little bit runny up here from the spices of the two. Oh man, this jar is actually a little tough to open. There we go. Because when the sauce is so awesome, it requires a super secure lid to contain the awesomeness within. Ready? Just from this view, looking at it, consistency similar to the crispy garlic chili, but a lot looser. And this should come as no surprise. Oh yeah. Mr. Chen, you have a very aromatic, delicious aroma hot oil. I so look forward to trying this. As before, chilies and everything's on the bottom, oil's this thick on the top. Of course, that's the way it should be. I'm just gonna mix it up with my spoon a bit, bring it all up and stir it up and see what it looks like. This is a very nice looking hot oil, very pretty hot oil. I don't know if this will show up on camera well, but visually it doesn't look a lot different than the crispy garlic chili, except that it's runnier. The aroma is definitely different. It's a little more pure. That one was kind of heavy on the garlic. This one's just chilies. I think I smell something, I don't know if that's oregano, basil, both. I don't know, can I read this little label? See what's in there? So let's take some of this and dump it into my little dipping bowl here. Get some of the pure sauce in there too. All right, generous amounts. I mean, I'm no stranger to hot oil. Now, from my own experience and from watching endless videos of Mike mixing hot oil, whether it was his or even before this existed, mixing in other hot oils, soy sauce is a must when using it as a dip. But before I do that, I would like to try some of his hot oil as is. See what we got here. A little bit more. Okay, so that basil, oregano that I could smell from the top of the jar, I can taste that in there. It's tasty. Not a lot of heat so far. Actually, I feel a little heat building up now. The initial taste, it was almost no heat at all. I feel a little bit building up. Bear in mind, I basically got like a droplet or 2 droplets worth in my mouth. I want to try this with some dumplings, so I'm going to add some soy sauce in here. Now that I know what this tastes like straight, I'm comfortable adding my soy sauce. Mix that bad boy up. It's a very attractive looking sauce. I mean, look at this. It's like something you see in a magazine. All right, so let me take this piece of dumpling here. Those of you who are already fans of Mike Chen or his main channel, Strictly Dumpling, you know that steamed dumplings is the quintessential item to test his oil. If it doesn't work with dumplings, it ain't working anywhere. Well, let's see. I have high hopes for this. All right, get it in there. Nice, thick. See how red that is? Yeah, that's what we want. All right, let's try it. Yeah, it's definitely good. Just a hint more soy sauce in there. Oh yeah, the color's much better too. The color looks like what I want it to look like. You can't always go by the color, but usually when I make mine, color should be kind of like this. Now let's give this a nice, get it right in there. Right in there. Just dip that sucker in there. Make that dumpling eat that sauce. Yeah, baby. Look at that. Ah! All right, let's try it. That's definitely very tasty. The sauce on its own was already pretty tasty, but having that mixture, the soy sauce really helps bring out that flavor that's already there. All the really good stuff that I'm tasting is not the soy sauce itself, it's his oil. My one regret at this moment is that I neglected to pick up some sesame oil to add to this, because then you would have the trifecta. Really good hot oil, soy sauce, and sesame oil mixed together would be the way to eat these dumplings. Let's try it with some of this delicious wonton egg drop soup. I'm just gonna put it directly in there. This tastes so good that I'm not even worried about dumping in the remaining portions. I'm just like, you know what? Why the hell not? Just put it in there. Make that soup nice and dark. Get her in there. Let's get the wonton out of here. Get the wonton out of here, pal. Mmm. Yes. Yeah, hell yeah. That's really good with his hot oil. Wow. Wow. Try the broth direct. Mmm, delicious. Mike, I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. I mean, you know I love you as a YouTube creator. Putting that aside, this is delicious. I'm not kidding. Just like you, I'm not gonna tell you it's good if it's not good. Matter of fact, just to prove it, I'm gonna add this. This hot oil is flavorful. Good flavor. You can definitely taste how fresh the ingredients are. You can almost taste the ingredients individually. Put it in your mouth and just like, okay, there's the chilies, there's the oregano, there's the hot oil part. I mean, you can taste the individual ingredients, which is a hell of a compliment. Not very hot. And in his defense, he's stated in some of his videos that, yes, his hot oil isn't very hot. I think his intention was to make it so that more people can enjoy it. One of the things that Mike and I share in common, we actually share quite a few things in common, and hopefully one day I'll get to speak to him in person. We can speak about those things that we have in common. One of the things we have in common when it comes to hot oils, hot sauces, spicy foods is that flavor is king. If you have to choose between something having a good flavor or being hotter, flavor is going to win every time. Every time. That's the way I feel about it, and based on what things he stated in his videos, I believe he feels the same way. So you made the right choice, Mike. If he made it as hot as how he likes it, probably 80% of the people who order it wouldn't be able to eat it. They try it once and run crying, and I might be one of those people, so I'm not making fun of anybody. Anyway, that's tasty. Let's try it with the rice. First, I want to try some just on the plain rice. After all, one of the statements he made on the box is that it's good with rice. Probably was referring to fried rice, not just plain rice, but I'm willing to bet that he'll stand behind the fact that it probably tastes really good with just a white rice. I'll tell you what I think about it in a moment. And, Okay, so far, out of the 3 sauces, there's no more. Out of the 3 sauces, Mike's hot oil goes best with the plain white rice. It takes that rice, which doesn't have much flavor on its own, it makes it taste like something good. Continuing on, grab a little more of this rice. I'm really enjoying this. This is fun. Hopefully more than 5 people see this video. Take some of my roast pork with cabbage and celery and onion and whatever else is in here. Get that on there. Definitely get that soy-based sauce in there. Take a moment to mix that in with the rice. Dump in the rest of the hot oil that I have in this bowl, which is actually not enough. This portion of the rice and roast pork. I'm going to grab some directly from the jar. There we go. Just throw it on there like Mike would. I really like that oregano aroma I'm getting for this. It makes it smell so authentic. It's like you walk into a mom and pop store and they have homemade hot oil. That's just what I'm picturing when I'm smelling this, but this actually came from somewhere where it was manufactured. It's terrific. I can understand why it took so long for him to put this out. He really wanted to make sure it was good. And you know what? His patience and hard work, as usual, paid off. Add a little soy sauce to this. Mix it all up. And let us get a sample of it. Oh yeah, that's a nice bite right there. Oh, it smells so good. Mmm. Mmm. That's really good with the roast pork chop and rice. Now some of the heat's starting to catch up with me a little bit. I almost feel like the crispy garlic chili is spicier than the hot oil, but the hot oil has a better flavor to it. That's what I'm tasting. Mmm. It's tasty, Mike. I'm liking it. Another bite here. That's really tasty. Final test with Mike's hot oil. Bit of that. Bit of the old soy sauce. And I think when push comes to shove, he'd rather me say that I didn't like any of his stuff, if I was being honest, as opposed to saying, oh, this is great, let me kiss Mike's butt. No, he wouldn't want me to do that. And quite honestly, I don't have to, because this oil is great. Let's try some of the noodles. Get in there. Sometimes with noodles, particularly when I was a kid, I used to like to dip it in stuff. You know how you get the little air bubbles that are already broken in the noodle? Dip it in such a way that those little air pockets fill up with the oil. That's good. That's good. Again, like I was saying when we were trying the crispy garlic chili, the noodles aren't a great test because it doesn't really soak it in very much. You kind of taste the oil followed by the noodle as opposed to tasting them in unison. But they don't clash at all. It's good. This definitely works better with the crispy noodle than the crispy garlic chili does. So on that last little bit that I dipped in there, I got in a whole big flake of a chili. And while it was really good, it kind of flared up the back of my throat there. All right, so let's talk business here. Mike's hot oil, Mike's spicy black bean sauce, Mike's crispy garlic chili. 3 distinctive offerings from his website. All 3 flavorful. All 3 have a bit of a heat element to it. None of them overbearing on heat or on flavor. I gotta say, comparing donuts to donuts, the hot oil is definitely the best of the 3, but all 3 are enjoyable. And I'm glad that I've tried all 3. Again, I'm gonna leave a link below to the website for purchasing these. Last time I checked, plus when I ordered this, you're only able to buy them as a 3-pack, 1 of each. You can't buy the flavors individually. And quite honestly, because these come in glass jars and the ever-rising cost of shipping, you're better off getting the 3 anyway. Like no matter what, you're gonna take a little bit of a hit on the shipping, but it's not as bad when you get in 3 of these. Now, in one of his videos, I recall him mentioning that there was at least 1 store, if not a couple, out in New York City that sell these in the storefront. There's probably instructions on the website letting you know which store and where it is, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a little applet that shows the Google map or whatever to show you where to go. You buy it from there, it's going to be like $10 a pop. Otherwise, you're going to buy it like this, it's going to be $30 for the box. Plus the shipping after tax and everything. I paid about $43 and change for these 3. That includes the shipping. It's definitely not the cheapest thing you'll buy out there, but I think it's worth trying. Personally, I'm ready that I made this video, so no matter what, I was gonna have fun because I love doing this stuff, but just trying the food was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Enjoyed the sauce, enjoyed the food. Really happy to be supporting Mike by buying this from him. All right, guys, as always, there's links for everything down in the description below. Be sure to check them out. Be sure to check out Mike and everything else that I brought up here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, stalk. Laters.